Hello everyone, welcome to LaExcellence Bangalore. So in today's CID series, that is current affairs issues of the day, we are going to discuss about India-Maldives relation. This topic we are doing mainly because some of the students who are watching our CID series regularly, they have requested in our previous video to make a video on especially on India-Maldives relation, and some students have also asked us to make a video on India-Sri Lankan relation. Friends, your comments are very much important to us, and we wanted to address the students' doubts and the most important topics as per the students and examination perspective. In that way, we are very happy that many students are trying to come up with the topics. So we have picked our most important topic which can be relevant for the UPSC examination coming year, that is 2024 prelims, is on India-Maldives relation. So we'll try to discuss India-Maldives relation today, and in the coming week again we will discuss about India-Sri Lankan relations. Fine friends. So now we will go and discuss about the India-Maldives relation, some historical background we will try to study. Then we will again come with this PPT's help, and we will try to analyze the other economic and infrastructure projects which are happening very recently in Maldives, and what is India's role in that, whether Maldives is important for India, if important, how much it is important for India. These are something is going to be very important when you prepare for prelims as well as mains examination. Yeah. Okay friends, we will try to analyze the India-Maldives relations now. From the UPSC prelims perspective, if you see friends, regarding the India-Maldives relations, the recent outcome which has happened, that is Maldives President Ibrahim Lodi, that is Ibrahim Sodi, he has visited India in 2022, and there were some outcomes which came out from the meeting, and that can be asked in prelims examination. But when it comes to main examination, your conceptual clarity is very important, because in India-Maldives relation, in GS paper 2 in international relations, you have an important component called as India and its neighboring countries are clearly mentioned in your syllabus. So UPSC may ask repetitively questions on that segment, especially the countries which are located in Indian Ocean region, and among them Maldives is going to be very important for your UPSC exam. Now, so going into the India-Maldives relations, with respect to the history of the relationship, if you see friends, India got independence in 1947, you know very well. In the same manner, Maldives was also a colonial country till 1965. Only in the year 1965, Maldives was actually colonialized, that is, it has been decolonialized, and India was one among the first country which could recognize the Maldivians' independence from the colonial countries. So that is one important thing. And even when you look at the India's relationship when it comes to Maldives, initially the relationship was very good, but if you see the overall relationship, it can be classified into two zones, that is pre-2018 and then post-2018. So this is one phase we have, that is ups and downs in our relationship, that is pre-2018, that is the time period from 2015 to 18, our relationship with Maldives suffered. But after that, with the election of the new president Ibrahim Sodi, after 2018, India's relationship is improving. But before that, what happened in Maldives soon after its independence from Britishers in 1965 is that India was able to recognize this country, and India was also able to develop its diplomatic missions, that is, its embassies were immediately located in Maldives, and we are one among the first few countries to open our embassies in Maldives. In addition to that, India always considers Maldives to be very important in its relationship. That is, even during the during the Rajiv Gandhi government period, Maldives was going through an important internal crisis. That is, inside the Maldivian country, there was a coup attempt which was actually attempted in the year 1988. But during that time, the Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, he provided support where we were able to protect the democracy, because India wants to stand with the democratic ideals, especially with the countries in its neighborhood region. And India considers that not only Sri Lanka, where it interfered during the LTTE war in the 1980s, as well as with the help of in the Maldives also, India was able to interfere only because we wanted to protect the democracy. So that operation is very much important. What we conducted in 1988, it is referred as Operation Cactus, which can be asked in your prelims examination. So with the help of this Operation Cactus, we were able to prevent a coup attempt in case of Maldives. So Maldives has a very good relationship with India. Even after that, if you see, India was able to have a firm relationship with Maldives only the time period that is before pre-2018. That is an important area which we should consider, because in case of Maldives, we have Maldives National Party. That is not Maldives National Party, that is Maldives Democratic Party, MDP we say. Before that, the party was headed by Mohammad Nasheed. He was the previous president of Maldives also. And what happened pre-2018 during the presidency of Mohammad Nasheed? What happened is, after his tenure got over, when he was an opposition leader in the time period of 2015 to 18, the opposition, that the ruling party, tried to arrest the Mohammad Nasheed, who was the opposition party leader at that time, mainly in the name that he was involved in planning some terrorist activities in Maldives. So due to that reason, he has been kept under house arrest. And one important thing why it concerns India is because this Mohammad Nasheed is considered to be very closer. Not only he, as well as his party, Maldives Democratic Party, is considered to be very close to India, because Mohammad Nasheed, he has studied in our campus in case of JNU in Delhi, and so they feel that they are very much connected with India. So in that way, India considers that when Mohammad Nasheed was kept under house arrest during the time period from 2015 to 18, it was China which was able to have a better relationship, that is during the time period of 2018. Till the 2018, China was able to develop, that is, it got the projects for developing its military bases, especially in the Maldives region, and India considers it to be a big security threat, because China is doing all this as part of its string of pearls policy. Friends, this string of pearls policy is again an important and separate topic which we will try to cover in a separate video series in our CID. And to simplify the things, it is a policy whereby China tries to encircle India in the Indian Ocean region. So what it is trying to do is, it is trying to encircle India by creating, in case of Pakistan, the Gwadar port, and in case of South China Sea, partly Parcel Islands, it has militarized. In addition to that, it has developed some ports in case of Sri Lanka as well as in Maldives. So the way in which China is trying to encircle India in the Indian Ocean region, it is referred as string of pearls policy, and that is considered to be a big security threat when it comes to India. So during the time period from 2015 to 18, India was finding its relationship to be very difficult to manage with Maldives, because at that time, the president of Maldives, especially the other party, the ruling party, which is not Maldives Democratic Party, so what happened is, they started moving very closely with China, and they started giving lot of infrastructure projects to China. But the problem with China, we know very well, even when it comes to one road, one silk, that is one belt, one road initiative, that is a Silk Road initiative of China, the biggest problem is the debt trap. Because many of the countries who have actually executed the Silk Road project, where they are forced to implement the project at a very higher interest rate of they need to pay to the Chinese government. So due to that, many of the countries which has actually taken the help of China in implementing the infrastructure projects, they were forced to move towards a debt trap problem. When a country is in debt trap problem, it means that they are unable to pay even the interest for the loans which they have borrowed, and now they are planning to take one more loan, mainly to settle the interest for the first loan which they have taken. So considering this situation, the problem of many countries with respect to one road, one belt initiative is that they were affected by this debt trap, and India was also very aware of this problem when it comes to one road, one belt initiative, and we wanted to alert the Maldivians government during that time. But the problem is, during the time period of 2015 to 18, our relationship was not good. But later what happened is, post 2018, So again there was the re-election of the Maldivian Democratic Party, but this time the new president, that is Ibrahim Sodi, was the new president who was elected under the Maldivian Democratic Party, and this particular party is always considered to be closer with India. And even what happened very recently is that is in 2022 also, the Maldives president who got elected from MDP party, that is Maldives Democratic Party, Ibrahim Sodi, he visited India in 2022. So that was the last year only he visited India. And why it is considered to be very important is that even when India was like, when he got elected during the year 2018, because he got first time elected in 2018, when he was elected, the first thing what this Maldives Democratic Party's president, that is Ibrahim Sodi, he decided is that in 2018 he wanted the first country to visit outside his country. When he came outside, he came and visited India. After becoming a president, he chose India to be his first destination. And Maldives also follow a policy which is referred as India First policy. So Maldives gives high priority when it comes to India with the help of its foreign policy, where it gives that India First policy. That is the reason when the Maldivian Democratic Party under the President Ibrahim Sodi was elected, he chose the destination, first destination of the country where he wanted to visit is India. It is no surprise for India, because even when our Prime Minister, current Prime Minister, when he was re-elected in 2019, he also, when he was re-elected, the first country our Indian Prime Minister chosen to visit is Maldives. So even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi also, he has visited Maldives first. So this shows that the importance of India when it comes to attaching to its neighborhood countries, because India follows a policy called as neighborhood first policy. And if you look at the policies here, when it comes to Maldives, their foreign policy is oriented towards India with the help of India First policy. And India is also giving priority to the countries in its neighborhood, especially in the Indian Ocean region. And that is the reason why these two countries, they were able to have a very good relationship post 2018, which was not the case pre 2018. So we are able to now improve the relationship. And even the last year visit by the Maldives president shows that where India has signed plenty lot of projects across the various areas, which we will try to discuss that. Before that, we will also try to see how Maldives is going to be very much important for India, because India gives lot of priority, as I said. That is, when it comes to Maldives, we are also trying to include Maldives under our Act East policy. Because those countries which are located in the Indian Ocean region, Maldives, Mauritius, and lot of countries which are located in the east of Africa, there lot of, and that is piracy operations, lot of pirates related problems are happening in the Indian Ocean region. So to take care of all those things, and in addition to that, in the part of Act East policy which is practiced by India also, we have included all these countries in the Indian Ocean region. So we wanted to give priority to these countries. Moreover, if you see, when it comes to India's various other policies, we also have a policy called as Sagar. Sagar refers to security and growth for all in the region, and that region refers to the Indian Ocean region. And this particular mission Sagar, that is providing a security to all countries in Indian Ocean region, this project was launched by India in 2015, and in this particular project, that is under the mission Sagar, we wanted to guarantee the countries which are located in Indian Ocean region, especially countries like Maldives, we are guaranteeing them, that is when it comes to helping them, we wanted to provide better financial plus security. So we wanted to improve the financial and security relationship with them. So where we try to improve our trade relationship, as well as when it comes to implementing the security relations, India has a very good relationship, because Maldives is considered to be the one of the most important security, that is this region is coming under the lot of geopolitical conflict. We will try to discuss that. So India has a very good relationship. If you travel across the history, right from the time period from Maldives independence from 1965 to till date, there have been only few ups and downs, especially during the time before pre-2018. But post-2018, the relationships have improved. And let's now try to discuss what are the outcomes of the recent Maldives president visit, and what are the various agreements we have signed with Maldives that can be asked in your mains examination as well as your prelims examination of 2024 exam. So let's try to discuss that, and then we will try to see that why Maldives is going to be very much important for India, because that is something which we need to seriously look at. So before that, the major outcomes of the recent meetings. So what are the various outcomes when last year the Maldivians president visited India? So we have tried to develop lot of infrastructural projects have been we have tried to signed with them. One of the famous among them is India has planned to provide a grant to them, especially the infrastructure project which is concerning about improving the condition socio-economic development of Maldivian people. This is going to be very much important because India is doing something called as high impact community development project, and this is going to be a game changer when it comes to our India-Maldives relationship, because in this particular project we wanted to improve the socio and economic conditions of the Maldivian people. When it comes to social and economic conditions, India is planning to provide Maldives assistance in case of education and then health, and even when it comes to other infrastructure sectors, India is trying to play a very crucial role when it comes to the development of Maldives region. That is where India is trying to show that it is different from China, because China also try to help Maldives, but that always comes out with a very high interest rate. But India, when it comes to providing help to these countries, many of them are provided in the form of grant. Grant is a one-time assistance where they don't have the obligation to repay. And even in this case, for this particular project, India has actually it has allotted some $100 million, which is that is this 100 million rupees. This will be given in Maldivian currency, and this will be helpful to develop the socio-economic projects which India is handling in the Maldivian region. This is one important thing which we have agreed in the recent summit where President of Maldives visited India. Second thing, when it comes to Maldives, is India also agreed to develop some sports complex in Gadau. So at this place we are trying to develop a sports complex, and that will improve the sports facilities in Maldives. Third thing, when it comes to India's Maldives relationship, is also we are also planning to improve our academic collaboration, because we know very well under the high community, that is high impact community development project, we wanted to work on the education, health and infrastructure sectors. So to do that effectively, we need some academic collaboration. And when it comes to the academic collaboration, we have tied up with the Maldives National University. Have tied up with the Cochin University of, or Cochin Institute of Science and Technology. So this is the institute which has now partnered with Maldives University in improving that is in getting a proper academic collaboration, so that the high impact community development project which we are executing is going to be impactful. So India is trying to showcase its skills that it is different when it comes to China in providing assistance to Maldivian country which is a part of our Indian Ocean region. In addition to that, there are even many other outcomes which has happened. We will try to discuss those things also which has happened in the recent summit, so that can be asked in the UPSC examination. That is, when it comes to India-Maldives relationships in the recent outcomes, so we are trying to improve upon their security relationship. Security relationship is one important thing we will try to discuss. So in addition to that, we are also trying to improve the rehabilitation center, and we are also trying to improve the economic cooperation, and we are also trying to provide some better infrastructure projects. So these four things are going to be very important in the recent outcome which has happened in the President of Maldives visit when it comes to India. So that can be asked in the UPSC prelims as well as mains examination, because when it comes to security relationship, India's approach towards Maldives is very important, because we wanted to safeguard the security of not only the Maldives as well as the Indian Ocean countries also which are located here, because there is an increasing presence of China in the Indian Ocean region, and that can endanger the safety and security of international trade as well as the security of these countries. So for that purpose, we are trying to do lot of joint exercises. So India is trying to provide a lot of joint exercise training with respect to Maldivian forces, and there are various exercises which has been conducted as part of these joint exercises in the past, which they have named it as Equiverine, Ikata, Dosti, and then Operation Shield. So these are some of the joint exercises which India has conducted with Maldives in the past, and that can also asked in your preliminary examination. So friends, kindly try to remember the name of these joint military exercises. And second thing, when it comes to especially our security relationship with Maldives, India is very much different, because India is also trying to provide some important defense equipment. That is, we are trying to provide some defense equipment, and not only that, we are also trying to be very different, because we are also trying to provide some training to the Maldives national security forces. So for that also, we have recently in the last year we have inaugurated a national academy in Maldives only, where the Maldives defense forces can get trained by Indians. That is, even today if you see, India is training around 70% of the Maldivian security forces. So by improving the capabilities of these Maldivian defense forces, we can try to ensure and provide better security for the Maldivian people as well as the countries in the Indian Ocean region, and that is what is India's concern about. So we are trying to improve our relationship with Maldives in providing training. So Maldivian Defense Security Forces, we are trying to provide training. This is something which we need to remember. And when it comes to rehabilitation center, here India is trying to, that is, you know very well, Maldives is one of the important coral islands. So the problem with coral islands is now in a climatic change world, wherever we are now exposed to in the current world, lot of problems are happening with respect to rise in sea level. That is, increase in carbon dioxide emissions can increase the temperature of the world, and thereby melting the glaciers and increasing the sea level. When the sea level increases, the problem is most of these small countries, vulnerable countries, island countries, they can be submerged, and India wanted to help these countries when it comes to reclaiming their submerged islands. So for that purpose, India is actually implementing a project, important project, which is called as Addu Reclamation and Rehabilitation Project. So this is going to be very much important, because this particular project is trying to protect the Addu Island from the effects of climatic change. So we are doing that, and here also India is providing around 80 million funds to the Maldivian government in developing this island, that is Addu Island. And second, we are also trying to help the Maldivians people who have been affected by various drug addictions. So for that purpose, we have opened a drug rehabilitation and detoxification center. So this is also done with the help of India's assistance only. Now when it comes to economic cooperation, here it is going to be very important, because India has a very good economic relationship when it comes to Maldives. Initially, when you see, we are trying to promote especially a lot of agricultural goods which we are exporting to Maldivian country. In addition to that, the engineering and industrial goods and even various medicines and drugs have been exported by India to Maldives. And when you consider Maldives also, for Maldives, India is the second largest trading partner. So our economic relationship is going to be very much important for Maldives. So to do that, India also wanted to improve the trade relationship with the country by concentrating on its most important component called tourism. Because in case of Maldives, 30% of its GDP has been contributed mainly by tourism sector. And if you look at the tourism sector clearly, most of the tourists who happen to visit Maldives, majority of them are actually Indians. So Indians contribute greatly to the tourism development, and thereby it contribute indirectly to the GDP of the Maldivian economy. So this is why the people to people relationship between the countries is considered to be very improving, and it has a very better relationship. So due to that, India is also trying to improve its economic cooperation. Thereby what we are trying to do is, we have involved a company called as Afghans. In this Afghan, what it is trying to do is, it is trying to implement greater mail connectivity project. And this project is going to be very much important because this project is implemented by India. And here India is trying to provide connectivity to the 3 important islands in case of Maldives. That project is implemented by Afghans, and this project is it is implemented, that is Greater Mail Connectivity Project. This project is implemented at a budget of around 500 million, where 100 million is actually given as a one-time grant. That means they no need to repay. But if you see the remaining money, that is around 500 million, it has been given as a line of credit or credit line. Friends, you need to understand the concept behind line of credit or credit line, which is which can be asked as a separate preliminary question also. The thing is, what you need to understand is, when country is giving a line of credit, means they will be giving the loans at a very soft loan, that is a concessional loan. Soft or concessional loan will be given, but the thing is, they need to repay the interest money, and they need to repay the loan also. But here timeline will be more, and again the country will not be affected. Like in case of China, the problem is they will give huge loan amount, and they will be asked to pay very high interest rate. But when it comes to India, we provide most of the money in the form of grants, and we also provide some assistance through line of credit, where countries need to pay back India only a concessional loan, which is considered to be very lower comparing to China. So many of the countries who get this support from India, they will not go into a debt trap like they are facing in case of China. So this is something India is doing very seriously when it comes to economic cooperation agreement with Maldives. This greater mail connectivity is also a game changer in the India-Maldives relationship. Here we are trying to improve, that is we are trying to connect 3 important islands. Friends, you can note it and you can write this in your mains answers. That can be add a value addition to your answers compared to others. So the 3 important islands we are trying to connect is Gulgifulu, Tilufulasi, and then Vilingi. So these are the 3 islands. This you can mention in case of mains answer writing. So these 3 islands we are trying to connect by providing a extra budgetary support, where line of credit is also extended to make sure that greater mail connectivity project is implemented on time. So this is something India is doing. So in addition to that, if you go to the various other infrastructure projects also, India is helping Maldives very seriously in this front, because when it comes to infrastructure building, we are also trying to not only develop the ports of Maldives, we are also trying to develop airports also in case of Maldives, because that will improve the connectivity. And even in the recent outcome of the summit, we are planned to, we are planned to construct an international airport which is called as Hanumantu International Airport. Here also India is trying to provide assistance to Maldives. And even when it comes to economic cooperation also, here RBI and the Maldives Monetary Authority, so they have signed in the past a currency swap agreement. So the idea behind the signing a currency swap agreement is the countries can trade between their regional currencies only. So that is something we have came to an understanding, because India is considered to be the second most largest trading partner of Maldives. So thereby trading in the local currency will improve the dependency, will actually reduce our dependency on dollar. So that is something India is trying to do. So here if you see overall in the recent outcome of the summit, India is trying to improve its security relationship, rehabilitation center, economic cooperation as well as infrastructure projects. But still when it comes to Maldives, we are facing lot of challenges in the Indian Maldives relationship. So we will try to discuss these challenges. So what are the important challenges we are facing means, basically we face challenges when it comes to political instability. This is something India needs to improve, and but that is not in the control of India's hands. And second thing is the problem of radicalization. And third most important problem is the China factor, which is predominant in the Indian Ocean region very frequently. So when you come to the political stability, friends, we have already discussed our relationship when it comes to Maldives is very good with Maldivian Democratic Party. But on the other side, if any other parties are getting elected, the relationship with the Maldives seriously suffers, and that is what happened in the pre-2018 era. But post-2018, with the election of Ibrahim Sodi from Maldives Democratic Party, our relationship has improved, but we have to make sure that India improves its people-to-people that is relationship as well as its economic and other rehabilitation centers, so that we enjoy a goodwill among the people. So whoever comes to the power, India should be in a position to earn a good relationship with Maldives. That is something India is trying to improve, but it is always a challenge in our relationship. Second most important problem is the radicalization, because Maldives, it is a majority of the Maldivian people, they practice something called as Sunni Muslim. And even in case of Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, this practice of Muslim is very popular. But there are another category of Muslim called Shia Muslim, which has been practiced in countries like Iran. So here the Sunni Muslim countries, they tend to attach a very good relationship, and that is the reason the parties other than Maldives Democratic Party, they tend to have a closer relationship with Pakistan as well as other Islamic radical elements, and due to that they get influenced by these radical elements, and many of them they join the terrorist groups, and that will endanger the security of the Maldives. And India is trying to provide some important to handle the capacity to handle this counter radicalization techniques. Now when it comes to China factor, China is trying to encircle India mainly through its string of pearls policy. This we have discussed already, but with the post 2018 there has been a change in relationship, and due to that India is now trying to hold some grip when it comes to the India-Maldives relationship. So overall if you see, friends, India's Maldives relationship historically has been it has been very good. That is during the Rajiv Gandhi government, India provided a support to the Maldivian government. When a coup was attempted in 1988, Rajiv Gandhi government supported by like coming out with an Operation Cactus, where Indian army interfered directly in Maldives. Right from that moment, we had a very good relationship. That is the reason even today Maldives is coming out with its open, that is India first policy. That is its priority. That India is considered to be very pillar. But still, India considers Maldives to be relevant for its relationship. So we will try to discuss why Maldives is important for India. Friends, there are three basic things which we need to discuss when it comes to why Maldives is important for India. First thing is, Maldives is located along the international sea lanes of communication. That is, most of the ships, if you see, friends, they pass through the Malacca Strait and they pass nearby the Maldives countries only. So here any disturbance, that is domination of Chinese presence here, can interfere in the any blockage which happens near the Malacca Strait can actually endanger the international sea lane communication and the world trade also. So that is something which is concerning India. So India is considering that if you improve the Maldives relationship better and provide better security in the Indian Ocean region, then it will improve our trade relationship also. We can do trade in a free manner. So that is something we consider very important. Second, Maldives is also very important because it is considered to be a net, that is security provider. That is this region, Indian Ocean region is the important security provider region, because here lot of pirates problem are happening, and even India is helping Maldives to improve its maritime domain awareness by training these Maldivian defense forces. and to check the piracy, terrorism, and then radicalization problems which are arising in Maldives. So that is something concerning. And second, this particular Indian Ocean region recently has emerged as the important heartland of geopolitical conflict. So due to this reason also, India considers its presence is very important, and its relationship with Maldives is going to be very important when we want to implement the various projects when it comes to protecting the Indian Ocean region's freedom of navigation and to respect the international law. That is what is we are trying to do. Even when it comes to Mission Sagar also, we wanted to implement it and provide a net security when it comes to the countries located in Indian Ocean region. So India, due to all these features, it is trying to have a very goodwill and better people-to-people relationship concerning especially Maldives. So I hope friends you are able to understand this India-Maldives relationship in a very good manner. So let's now try to discuss some important events which we have discussed in this video. Friends, if you see here, this is the joint military exercise Equivalent. So there are Equivalent, Agatha, Dosti, Operation Shield. These are the joint military exercises India has conducted. So you can refer this for your understanding. And in addition to that, this is the Addu Rehabilitation and Reclamation Project. Friends, if you see, India is trying to reclaim this island from the effects of climatic change, as I have discussed already. So as part of this project, we are trying to do this. And even if you see here, we are trying to connect the three important islands as we have discussed. One among them is Willingly, which has been mentioned in this picture. And the most important revenue for Maldivian government is the tourism, which got disturbed even during the COVID time. And India, if you see friends, it has helped Maldives during the crisis times. That is, even during the recent COVID-19, India has provided vaccines freely and essential items we have supplied to the Maldives when it was in crisis. And even if you see previously during the 2004 tsunami, during that time also India provided a 100 million grant when it comes to providing, improving the sewerage and drinking water facilities in Maldives. That is why Maldivian people consider India to be a well-wisher in their relationship. So friends, if you see here, this is the Hanimadu International Airport which India is trying to develop. And this National College for Policing and Law Enforcement, under this only, India is now trying to train the Maldivian defense forces. And this National College of Policing and Law Enforcement has been very recently, that is last year 2022 only, we have opened it in Maldives. So we are trying to improve the defense capabilities of the Maldivian Defense Force also. And the Greater Mail Connectivity Project is also one of the most important project which is executed by Afghan company. And here we are trying to improve the transport and economic relationship, and we are also trying to improve the solar energy which can be generated from this island, because India wants to help these countries in mitigating climatic change, where renewable energy is going to be a game changer. So India is doing its part. Whenever it comes to improving any infrastructure, implementing projects, we try to take the help of green energy in its implementation, and that is what we are doing in case of especially Maldives also. So I hope friends, Indo-Maldives relation you are able to understand. And if you have any doubts regarding this topic or any topic you want us to make a video, kindly comment below. We are seriously looking into your comments, and we wanted to be as much as responsive to your comments, and we will try to make a video on that front. So friends, stay tuned to this CID series. Thanks for watching. We'll meet again in a new fresh CID series. Thank you friends.